What's going on, everybody? This is Denchi90 right here.
What's up? I'm Webbs.
And this is Rise of the Nerds. This is a brand new podcast that we're starting that wants to talk more on nerd-related stuff, pop culture, everything you can think of. Possibly we might talk, because honestly I'm not talking about everything you want to talk about.
Yeah, and real talk. Yeah, we're going to bring it to you real. We have no endorsements. There's nobody backing us. There's nobody censoring us. So we're just going to give you real talk, being that everybody wants our opinions anyway.
Niggas out here broke. We ain't getting no sponsorship.
And we don't fucking need one neither.
Alright, listen, tone it down just a little bit, alright? Just tone it down. Just tone it down just a
All
little
right,
bit.
so, oh yeah, that's another thing. That's a good point. We'll have, like, you know, fun little features like curse factors. I'm only going to be allowed to swear so much. So that way we do keep it somewhat family friendly.
Well, then again, my family thought it was a good idea to beat me with a hot metal spoon, so that's as much friendly as you're going to get.
You want to jump into it? I say we
Alright,
jump
so
right into
let's
it.
just before we jump into it, it's more of an idea. This came the idea pretty much of just talking about other things, and one of the topics that we're going to talk about is the Captain Marvel movie that just came out. Now, we're kind of late on it. Everyone has a review, this and that, and they're probably going to see on there like, oh yeah, everyone's done the reviews, this, that, third. Good for them. Now we want to talk about how we feel on it.
And we're going to you real, because it's not going to be scripted. It's not going to be something that we feel
I mean,
about.
it's somewhat scripted. I did do my research.
Yeah,
like, I'm not
was-
going to sit there and act like I
It was
have ideas.
ideas.
It was just ideas. I just don't want to be out here talking like I know what I'm talking about and have no idea what I'm talking about, because I can see the comments talk about, oh, well, at here, this, that, the third. Well, in the comic books, okay, I get it. I messed up. I don't need 100 trolls sitting there telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about.
Don't
I got
do
it.
that.
I had an opinion. I'm going
trolls
on there.
allowed. No trolls.
No trolls. This ain't a movie. I don't
No
see Justin
trolls.
Timberlake here. Unless you're Anna Kendrick troll, then like if you see this boo, I'm here for you. Like, what's good? Like, what's good, ma? But anyway.
Anyway.
Alright, so we're just gonna
movie.
talk about the movie right there. Now,
Yeah.
Captain Marvel came out. It's part of the whole MCU universe right now with cinematic everything now. It's it's the movie right before Avengers Endgame, which we're all anticipating to see. Now, personally, I thought it was a good movie.
I thought it was really good.
It was a good movie.
I thought overall, you know, it's definitely deserving another see, whether it be, you know, you own it or you go out and see it. I definitely think it deserved a better one. A second.
There was a lot of nostalgia to it as well. All right. Oh, by the way, spoilers. Might as well put that in there. There's gonna be spoilers. The hell with it. If it's been out for a
Real
week.
talk, like, yeah.
Listen,
so
it's been out for a
spoilers.
week. If you haven't seen it yet, then that's on
You're
you.
missing out. Go see it.
All right. So pretty much, it's like kind of so when I saw Captain Marvel, I actually got more of a modern day Captain America, kind of.
Yeah.
More of an origin story before the
Yeah.
Avengers was settled and set on. And then actually introduced Nick Fury in there as well too. It's played by Samuel L. Jackson. And Captain Marvel was actually played by Brie Larson.
Amazing.
Love her.
Amazing. I don't know. Yeah, all these trolls that were and all these other reviewers that were giving her bad clout and saying that she couldn't hack it, and I think she did phenomenal. I think you know, first of all, she won an Oscar. Like that's alone. Like she was an Oscar winner before she was Captain Marvel. So I feel like
We'll
that
fact check
credibility.
But not all Oscar winners are great actors. Just saying. Not everybody that got a golden statue deserve that statue. Just saying. That's just my opinion.
But overall, I think she did really well. I think she did better than people gave her credit for.
Anyway, so the movie started out great. Pretty much is the origin story on how she got her powers, how she became Captain Marvel, but it's a very big mix. It's not something that starts all the way from the beginning. You see Carol Danvers as an adult, you see a little flashback here, and it goes straight into the movie, her training with Captain... Her training with Jude Law's character.
Jude Law.
Captain, I can't...
It wasn't Captain Marvel.
He wasn't Marvel.
And
That was the
everybody
trick
thought
right there.
he was.
That was right
thought
there.
he was
Jude Law was
Captain
not.
Marvel, and he wasn't. So it was like, you know, and like all the twists, you know, the twists I didn't really mind either. Like there's a lot of people that are like bashing it because the alien invasion is actually good guys. Like they're not invading or at all.
The Skrull.
The Skrull.
And the Kree. Here's the thing, though, and I'm going to say this about, even though we're getting off topic, we're still going to say that. A lot of people love seeing movies, especially comic book movies, where they stay true to the comics. Okay? I'm going to give a good example where not all the time that's the best idea. Based on popularity of it, who owns it, like Disney, and who our target audience is. Now, it's going to be totally off topic, but just hear me out. 50 Shades of Grey. That book series. Listen. I know you about to just listen. 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey, when you read that book, you was like, oh my God, the filth. Like, older women and you know who you were reading that, like, oh my god, he did this, he did that. I read some of that. I was like, okay, I dated somebody who was into that book.
Yeah.
Come to find out, she wasn't about that life, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
Yeah, and I feel like the twists, you know, especially in the MCU, are like, you know, they're pretty good twists.
They're good twists, but hold on. Here's the thing about the book. Now, everything in that book, people's like, oh, it's about to turn into a movie. They're going to turn it into a movie. My initial reaction was, so they're going to make a porno.
That's what I thought.
That's what that was. I'm like, see, and I'm sitting there thinking, so it's going to get an NC-17 rating.
Yeah,
it's not even
book.
R. It's NC-17.
It's a sex movie. Like
I got to walk around and worry that is that melted butter I just touched or something else.
You know what I mean?
I don't want to have to worry about that when I see a movie.
Follow Pee Wee Herman.
But at the same time, I saw the movie. I only saw the first one. Compared to the book, I kind of knew exactly what to expect and what not to expect. Because there's certain things they can't do that comes from the books that they put on the movies. Because you understand, the person who wrote the book, she wants creative control on there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to understand it cannot happen.
Yeah.
As well as
like the same thing with
Harry Potter books.
Or no, not even Civil War. When Ant-Man is supposed to die as Giant Man. He's supposed to die as Giant Man in the Civil War, but the movie we got
I thought Goliath died.
Goliath?
Yeah, I thought it was Goliath who was the one who took the L
No,
from the robotic Thor.
No. It was Hank, not Hank Pym. Actually, I think it was Hank Pym. It was Ant-Man as Giant Man.
Let us know exactly how that happened. You guys know what we're talking about.
He died, and rather than his demise, they made him Giant Man in Civil War. So it was his like debut as his own character, but in a better form. So it was almost like the complete opposite from what they did in a movie. I mean, in the comics to the movie.
All right. So and that was a whole situation too.
Yeah,
and then also have to remember Infinity Wars and then Civil War. Infinity Wars came right before Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a whole nother concept. So they're trying to mash everything into that universe so it stays true to some comic material, but also create its own thing, which I like. I love the fact that, you know, you can stay true to the material, but keep it updated, keep us guessing. Like, okay, so a good example was the Kree and the Skrull. Every time you see about the Kree and the Skrull from the Marvel Universe, Skrulls are automatically the bad guys. Kree are somewhat good guys. They're also assholes, but that's just my opinion again. But that's the idea from good and bad. Total twist on that. I'm not going to sit there and give up too much on that, but it's a total twist. That's something I want everybody to watch on there too.
But I also think that had to do with the origin of Captain Marvel. I think they kind of warped it into her origin because it showed, you know, she's this badass, but she like has a heart. She's like human in itself, and like, you know.
Well, she is human. She's not Kree. She was believed to believe that she was a Kree.
But like after her blowing up ships and she's taking out bad guys and she's wielding like it's almost she was at that Superman level for all the trailers, and then you see the movie and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, she has a heart, she's human, she cares for other living beings, you know, like
But that never went away in the movie though. When I watched it, that never went away.
Which is good.
Like her human instincts stayed with her at all times. Like she was defiant, like this and that, everybody should be rebellious. No, that was just her human
man, especially
instincts.
that scene with the best friend, when with that whole woman to woman scene. I mean, like, you didn't even have to be a woman in order to get teary eyed.
I like that. That's the one thing I liked about it. There was no love interest in this movie.
Oh yeah.
There was no love interest, and I like that. It stayed focused to what was important. Like she didn't need a love interest, and people forget that. Oh yeah, well she didn't. No, she didn't need a love interest. She was a badass herself, regardless. She didn't take shit. And that was her character all out, based off from comic books ago. Even in the comics, like she had a whole different persona where she didn't need this or she didn't need that. It was based off that. Now, seeing the movie, it was a great. I personally thought it was a good movie. Brie Larson was a good choice for it. A lot of people thought Ronda Rousey was going to play that. I would have never watched it if it was Ronda Rousey. Honestly, I have nothing against Ronda Rousey.
You know what though? People also didn't know that Samuel L. Jackson was going to be like such a role, and they thought he was going to be like a cameo. They was going to pop in, do his little Nick Fury thing, and then the movie was going to progress with that.
I didn't see a cameo in that. I saw, honestly, when I knew at the end of Infinity Wars, when I saw that post-end credit, I knew that he couldn't be a cameo in that movie. That also gave him...
I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was going to be at
all.
all.
Give him a cameo in that movie, and I understand why. Like, he sat there, had this pager. Everyone wants to know, where the hell did this pager come from?
Yeah.
Where in, like, wait, you had this the whole time.
Yeah.
And my question was, so when, when they were getting attacked the first Avenger movies, you didn't decide to pull that out.
Yeah.
We had Ultron going crazy worldwide and whatnot for that week. You couldn't pull that out.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories going around.
There's a lot of theories to that one, but that's just not even theory. This is more common sense. Like, so you telling me
You let that whole
all this nonsense?
battle of New York happen.
You thought that would have been out. Winter Soldier, they could have handled that themselves. That wasn't that great of a threat.
Yeah.
That wasn't that.
Yeah.
But you talking about everything else, like other aliens from different dimensions?
Yeah, I think he's just.
You had an Asgardian god
I
sitting there
honestly
trying to
think,
build the world?
You know, he's either really, really picky or there's a side mission that we don't know about. Because why, like the whole Spider-Man far away from home, why would you pick him? Why would you pick the Spider-Man out of all of the Avengers?
We'll get into that later with Spider-Man as soon as we get more information.
Yeah, we should.
We're
We're gonna do a whole episode of that.
We'll get into that. But let's stick to Captain Marvel. That's just my opinion. I felt like he was being selfish. He could have done pull that, but maybe Carol Danvers was like, "Listen, bro, like I'm out here trying to find you scroll home.
Yeah.
I can't have you out here sitting there calling me for no nonsense.
Yeah.
Y'all can handle that. You got a green hulking monster.
Yeah.
You got a god. You got a freaking superpower soldier. And you got a guy who's out there and built a suit of armor that can get into space and God knows what else.
Yeah.
You good. Plus you got an archer and a spy. You good, homie.
I like that though. I like how they showed her leaving the planet, to do better, like intergalactic peace, and she literally says it, to kind of say it and show why she hasn't been around.
We're gonna be all over the place with the movie, so it's gonna jump frame to frame. But when you actually go out and see it, you'll understand.
Yeah, you'll understand a lot more, especially when you go see it at least once, and then.
Personally, I had to see it twice. I saw it one time as a fan. As a fan, I was like, I gotta watch it. I want to watch it. I want to enjoy it. There were some things I picked up on when he saw it the second time. I was like, yo, why'd he do that?
Yeah.
He was like, wait, why'd he do that?
Yeah,
I thought something totally different. He thought it was like, he was like, he didn't know what to do. And then when he saw it, he was like, oh shit, that made so much more sense.
Yeah, so definitely makes sense to see it 2 times. I mean, but it's worthy.
It was worth.
We wouldn't tell you to go out and see a crap movie twice.
I'll be honest, and for all y'all folks who don't like going out seeing movies, I know what y'all do. Go out and pay for the damn movie. See the movie. Pay for it. Don't be bootlegging everything. I know where you at.
Sticking a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
We ain't gonna talk about that too, because we ain't trying to get sued by the other companies either. So let's just keep low key on that one real quick.
You
gonna take an L for that one.
I'm gonna take the L for that one.
Okay.
So, overall, I think on a 10-point system, I give it like a solid 8.5.
Now, why would you give it a solid 8.5?
I'd only negate. It's an origin movie, so I can't really give it the full 10 because it's like, as nerds like we are going in, we already have prior knowledge. She's like our Superman. She's like a powerful being. So it was like, not that we dove into the origin a little too hard because that's what it was meant to, but already knowing the majority of that, it was like.
It's like the Spider-Man movies too. Like,
yeah,
like the first. Okay, when the Spider-Man came out with Tobey Maguire as the actor, and we got the got the origin. Great, we got it. Amazing with Andrew Garfield. We got the origin again.
We got the other one. We got the other origin story.
It's like so many origins, and even with the Batman versus Superman movie, like you still got an origin story of Batman again. At this point,
clips. It was
like certain superheroes, we get how their origin story plays.
Yeah, like everybody, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to watch, say they do a Flash movie. I don't want to watch him get struck by lightning again. I really don't. Everyone knows.
If I see an origin, I don't want it too much. You don't want too much time spent on the origin.
Right.
And that's what Captain Marvel did, where they didn't spend too much time on it. It confused the hell out of a lot of people. But they didn't spend too much time on it, and it made them like, okay.
I think that's why. I think the confusion of that whole first half hour. I think that whole time skip jump thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that confusion was based off of that. Was made for that. Was to give you so much of an origin, but without giving you a lot. But at the same time, for us real nerds, it kind of was. So I would take a point maybe off for that. From a perfect score. But as far as acting, I thought it was phenomenal. Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, Greg
Clark, man.
Greg Clark,
honestly, dude.
Nailed.
Also, I did like Ben. I'm probably gonna Ben.
Mendelsohn.
Ben Mendelsohn, who played Talos as the head Kree.
Yeah.
That his role. It was surprising because I've seen Talos from the cartoons to some of the comics, but mainly more the cartoons because I grew up on the comics through cartoons, and then I would read. I would read, I watched this on TV, so a lot of my origins came from television instead of comics, and then later on, I was like, all right, I'm going to read these and get the idea of what happens on there. But he actually, I liked him as the Kree commander. I did like him as Talos.
Yeah.
The only thing I kind of was expecting from it, like, a little disappointment, but I kind of was hoping we got more of a Fantastic Four, brought into it. Because every time I familiarize myself with the Skrull, I always think of the Super Skrull with the Fantastic Four powers, and he was a beast right off of that too. Like, that's what I think. But you know what? Even though they didn't do it, he still did a good job in his part.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, I can't really knock the acting part, because you garnish all of that with Jude Law, and you have a casserole of just greatness. So, I really thought, I thought it was really well. But
her best friend, too, Maria Rambeau.
Oh, man, that actress.
Who was actually played by Lashana Lynch.
That actress, I saw.
She stood out herself alone, like.
Yeah,
and that best friend that knows how to handle themselves. Like, I like seeing movies like you have a best friend that that's ride or die, that I can leave them by myself and they can handle theirs. Yeah. That's the type of best friend movie roles I like. She can handle his hair. She got onto that ship and she was like, I haven't flew in a while, but I got this.
Yeah, but not only that, she was, the supporting actor, like what they supposed to be. Like, you know what I mean? The main character is having this crisis that she has no idea about. And as a best friend to step in and be like, listen, this is what it is, this is what it's not, this is what you are, this is what you're not. Plain and white,
Simple as that.
So I would give it a solid, but another point, maybe even a half a point, I would take off. I'd be nitpicking. I would honestly be nitpicking.
But you're doing the same thing that you feel other ones, but this is the whole thing. Like, I just told you there was some things I didn't like about it, and there are things like, okay, I'm going to just throw this out there. Batman versus Superman. I don't think Ben Affleck should be never should have been Batman. I don't hate Ben Affleck, but I don't think he should ever play a superhero role. He just does not bring that whole superhero-esque to it. Like, when he did Daredevil in the beginning, I did not want to watch Daredevil on Netflix because it had such a bad taste in my mouth because of the movie.
Then I saw it.
Then when you saw it, you was like, Yo.
What you mean Ben Affleck was Daredevil? When?
But rest in peace
Charlie Cox.
Yeah, I know. Rest in peace to the Netflix series. All that. But we'll get into that another time. I just need a minute.
That 2-season rumor, it just snapped out of existence. Unbelievable.
I think Thanos had a thing with that when Infinity Wars. I think he snapped his finger. He was like, there are too many Marvel shows.
Netflix gotta go.
Bye, Netflix. All right. I can see what you're saying on that one too. My personal opinion on it, I give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I thought it brought it back to a good origin story of the movie. It wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna compare it to other origins, I don't want to be that play devil's advocate, but Black Panther.
You know what I mean? But that's the thing. It's like people were comparing this movie to non-origin based movies. Everybody was like, oh, it definitely wasn't Avengers. Obviously, it wasn't Avengers.
But Black Panther, here's it wasn't. Someone tried to compare to Black Panther. I'm like, but here's the thing about Black Panther though. Black Panther didn't even get an origin story. And a lot of people don't even know about Black Panther. I remember Black Panther. I remember when he smacked the Fantastic Four, not out of some villainy thing or something crazy they were for. He did it just to sit there and show his might. You guys are the best heroes ever out there. Come see me, and I'm gonna show you what you're really about. Each and every one of them, one by one. Black Panther is that dude, whether you realize it or not. But at the same time, he didn't get an origin story, but he got a part in Civil War, which led to the other movie. But there was no crazy origin story about it.
Yeah.
And they did an origin. They did a nice, quick origin in the beginning of the film that talked about the history of the Black Panther, not Chadwick Boseman character, T'Challa.
Yeah. Or T'Challa.
Of that.
Yeah. None of the personal Black Panthers. It was the legend.
It didn't spend too much time on him growing out there.
Right.
And I think a lot of times, for especially the Marvel Universe, DC Universe movies, they don't want to spend too much time on origin. They don't want to spend too much time.
We don't really want to see it. Y'all don't want to see it. We don't want to see it.
Let's be honest. It's 2019. If you really want to know the origin story of somebody, there's so many ways you could
Ant-Man. I kind of got Ant-Man. And I was wondering about Ant-Man. I was how are they gonna do an Ant-Man movie? And then they did his little origin, but then had him fighting Avengers. So it was
Yeah, like I feel like origin stories are great. Like we could all just look them up at there. Like it'd be nice to know about it. Like if they decided to recast the Batman role and do another Batman movie, I don't want to hear about any other origin. I don't want to hear another origin story. Like for origin stories, like okay, superheroes that I think would need an origin story besides Captain Marvel really didn't need it that much. She sat there, like, a lot of people didn't know of her like that, but she started getting popular in the mainstream from the televisions to comic sales, and then people will pick up, like, all right, we know. If you don't know her, you got a quick snippet of her origin, and if you really don't want to know more of that, you can always go out and read it.
Yeah, and that was like an ultimate version, too.
And that's the whole point, to get yourself to read it. It's like, yo, this movie's great. Like, I want to read more about her. Like, I want to know this, I want to know that. Yeah. All the Easter eggs that are in there and stuff like that. People who watch the Easter eggs, like, I don't get that. Why is that funny? Like, why did they tell her that? Why did Fury tell her? It's like, oh, when you start shining like her, let you know. That's the whole origin story. They're literally just sitting there foreshadowing another character. That can lead into a whole nother theory. But, like I said, Captain Marvel, I'll give that an 8 out of 10. It was a good movie. The action scenes were it was good choreography. It was good. It wasn't as memorable as I wanted it to be. Yeah. But you know what? They still did a great job. The CGI effect, you wouldn't even believe that was Sam Jackson. The CGI, I'm like, yo, we need to figure out if we can get some type of product for some people because they need CGIs in their lives. Like,
somebody needs to hook up.
There's filters that people be putting on there, and you know who you are. And I'm gonna say, girls, you know who you are. They putting the little filters and whatnot, putting them dog face filters. Oh, I look like a cute dog, and then when you sit there and actually take the filter off, you look like a horrible dog. Like, come on, get your life right. CGI yourself.
MCU CGI yourself.
Just CGI
don't do it the Green Lantern way. Do it the Captain.
We don't talk about that nonsense. You do not speak of Mr. Reynolds. We don't talk about that work. We don't ever talk about that work.
I guarantee you they won't do that in the DCU.
Anyway, back to that. So it was a good movie. Some of the fight scenes were really memorable. The storyline was good. I liked a little bit of the soundtrack and whatnot. It was very nostalgic.
Yeah.
Especially in the first part where she dropped on a blockbuster. That literally, like, if you was a 90s kid, if you was like a early 90s kid or anybody, if you grew up in a time of when Blockbuster was around, you already knew right off the back, like,
the Game Boy had me. The Game Boy had that Game Boy.
She used the Game Boy, parts from a Game Boy at a Radio Shack.
She literally turned on her communicator, and you heard the Game Boy sound before it turned on, as if the Game Boy sound turned on her communicator.
What made it even more funny with that one, she went to a Radio Shack. She was on a payphone. The advanced technology had, the technology she had on her thing, it literally stopped her and was like, "If you like to make another call, please enter in another." I'm like, what? You got some of the most, like, you have holographics, everything, scanners, everything. And you're telling me that you can't find a way to get another phone call for a couple minutes for free?
Yeah.
Your thing isn't unlimited? Are you serious? Come on, bro. Come on.
I mean,
it was funny to me. I thought it was funny. The brother in me was like, yo, you need to get it together. Like, I don't know what's going on with you, but figure that out. But I can't express enough. It's great. Now, a lot of people thought it was the worst movie. That's your opinion. If I feel like it, if you guys want to put some comments on here, I'm going to post this later on.
I mean, it's false, but it's your opinion.
We're entitled to our own opinions.
Yeah, you're entitled to your own opinion.
We're all entitled to our own opinions.
But you're wrong because of Captain America. Captain Marvel was amazing.
Well, Captain America is Captain America.
Captain America is Captain America. But Captain Marvel rocked it.
I still think Captain Marvel.
She rocked it. And, everybody compares her to Avengers movies and, the height of the cinematic MCU, and, like, it was a filler movie. It was a filler movie for her to save the day later in some kind of way. It was one of those feel-good filler movies so that when she comes out of nowhere and actually saves the day, there's some clout behind it. So in that aspect, I definitely say go see it.
I would go see it too, man. It was actually worth it. It's worth it. And I have this rule when I go out. I told my bro about this all the time. I was like, yo, I have this thing that if a movie's that good, like really that good, it's worth a second watch. And sometimes these movies that are good that I was like, oh yeah, it was good, I'll watch it again. I'll watch it again when it comes out to DVD, or I'll watch it again if I see it on TV or stuff like that. It was worth good, but Captain Marvel 2, like if you want to watch it again, like I would watch it again, because it also, you made a good point too. it made you question everything about all the past movies. So I actually been watching
Everything.
a lot. Like I watched Infinity Wars. I was like, nah, I can't watch Infinity Wars. I gotta watch Captain Marvel again. Now I gotta start all the way from the beginning.
This was the movie that was like, oh, you think you know about the MCU?
Like I've never taken more notes in my life. I like my years in school and college. I have never taken as many notes as I did because of these movies.
It was like, this is the movie that makes you watch all the other movies.
It had me question this one. Wait, he said he had this happen to his eye, but this actually. So we lying?
So he had the stone the whole time.
Nick Fury.
Where did the stone come from? Who had the stone?
Nick Fury is like the worst liar in the world. Like if you was actually dating somebody named Nick Fury, if you was to date Nick Fury, homie, that would be horrible. I could see. Oh my God, I could see I could see his ass on the episode of Cheaters. That'd be the hardest episode of Cheaters there. That'd be the most watched, and that would bring Cheaters back. I was like, oh, it's going back on the major network. They'll search for Nick Fury. I was like, are you even his girlfriend? Are you even his son? Like, what's going on? Like, it doesn't even seem like he exists. How hard is it to find a black bald man with an eye patch?
Right?
How hard is it? That's kind of, like, come on.
Closing statement? On Captain Marvel. All out. Like I said, it was a great movie. There's a lot of things that made me want to rewatch it again and watch the other Marvel movies to get on there. But the whole point of the movie is, like, especially with these comic book movies, and I want to point this out, is to bring people back into the comics. Because a lot of people don't understand, like, this is probably off topic. We're going to talk about this too because we're big Power Ranger fans. Big Ranger fans. And I'm also a Sentai fan. Sentai with an S, not an H, you nasties. Anyway. I'm a big Power Ranger fan, and I grew up watching the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Like, I grew up watching it, and, like, compare that to the movie, I sat there, and a lot of points I sat there and said, like, I watched it, and even as an adult, I still like it, but I knew it was hella campy. But I want to see something that's more realistic, and if you read the comics on stuff like that, you get more of a realistic view of everything. Like, it's not as campy, it's actually more real world, it's more cutthroat. Like, there's a second Civil War. If you're not familiar with that, they have a second Civil War they did. Yeah. That involves Captain Marvel as the main protagonist and Iron Man. Yeah. And it's a great read. That's what I really hope they don't kill him. But that's probably for another episode.
Can we not, like, spoil too much, dude? Like, let's not spoil too much.
For another episode.
Like, shit. Like, we don't even got that. Like, come on. You spoiling shit. Like, damn. The milk's not even that bad.
Tune in.
Damn, bro. But anyway, it's the premise is to get people to read the comics again and want to bring out there, and this is the whole thing on it. So, my opinion on it, great movie overall. I give it like an 8 out of 10. Brie Larson was honestly a good choice. I like her character. I like the snarky attitude. Her and Samuel Jackson had a great chemistry on it. Great. I love her friend who played by Lashana Lynch. Also, shout out to her daughter Akira Akabar and her little sister who actually played the both roles of Monica Lingbar at the age of 5 and 11. I want to give them a shout out. And also Ben Mendelsohn. Like, I liked him as Talos. He was a villain.
Like, he was like one of them cool ones.
He was one of the villains that you were like, yo. He's still... And he wasn't even a villain to begin with. That's why. Like, you know him as a villain, but it was there. But everything on this movie, I thought it was a great idea. Especially you got new talent on there, fresh new directors on there as well, too. Yeah. I thought it was great. So, first of all, 8 out of 10. And
I mean, yeah,
we can't wait for Endgame.
Yeah,
we're going to be doing a little more research. Like I said, so I'm going to post this video later on, do little cuts, but we want some more inside information that we're going to do. And if you want to find these videos, you can find it on our Facebook page that we're going to create. We already have the Twitter page up called Rise of the Nerds, and the Twitter @name is
Rise Nerds.
Nerds Rise.
Nerds Rise.
Nerds Rise. That's going to be the @name on us, on there too.
Because we are rising up, and we will rise.
We're rising. This is a whole rising podcast. We want to start something new, bring it out there, and hopefully, embellish something even greater on there.
Yeah, jump on the bandwagon. Anything we screwed up on, anything we jumped.
Let us know. Like, help us correct us. We want constructive criticism. Yeah, but I don't need somebody trolling me like, you fucking piece of shit. You can put whatever you want on there, but you ain't gonna sit there and say that to my face, because if you are, you can catch these hands real quick.
Because it's real.
Catch the attitude, catch these hands.
And who?
What he did. I ain't about, no.
Composure.
Compose these hands.
It was, again, I think it was really good. I think you should go see it. And I think you should tune into this show to see what we talk about next. It might be spoilers. It might be trailers.
Like I said, follow us on Twitter. Give us some opinions. We're gonna have some good. We like to have conversations. We also like to have different fans on there, and there's a lot of other people I follow too that I want on there as well. Like we'd love to do a guest show.
Yeah.
All brand new start. We're starting out from the bottom, but as nerds, we're here to rise. This is a Denshi 90.
I'm Webbs.
And we'll see you later. Peace.